live! Holy cow, everybody! We are live. It is a bit loud here. I'm going to apologize right off the start. As the sun is now setting a little bit later in the day, we are able to work longer, and there's construction going on above us to start the renovation, so sorry if everyone can hear that. My bad. And we are joined with Chris from Buffalo right now. Oh yeah, you're seeing him on the little screen right over here instead of in his normal spot. And if he sits a little bit lower, maybe you'll be able to see his face too. Hi, Chris. How's it going?
Hi. Oh, another week struggling to get Gridfam to work properly.
Well, that is the fun of technology.
I think we're going to have our first three-way this week, so that should be an adventure.
Woo! Going to get 2 cameras on at once. Very exciting. We tested it out already, so it should be okay. Hopefully. It was working a little earlier.
Should. We'll see what happens.
So, Chris, you're in Buffalo. Tell us about your week. Tell us, we saw you last week and Greg was here. And tell us what's happened since last Monday.
Greg and I flew back Thursday. I've probably slept a total of 10 hours since Thursday. Friday, we rushed. Jesus, everything's kind of blended together in a blur. Had a couple meetings on Friday, but spent most of Friday with my niece, Piper. Had some good grandma and Uncle Chris time with Piper during the day. Then Friday night, met some of the Gratwick boys out. One of our good friends, Tim Berg, just opened up a brewery in North Tonawanda called Prosper Brewing.
Very
so we
cool.
Stopped in there.
Did you get
had
free
a couple
drinks?
Beers. No, he just opened up. We can't be hitting him up for free drinks. You wait until the place is big and successful, and then you get all the free drinks you want.
So you tried all the drinks and helped support them, is what you're saying.
I had one of their Pilsners, which is their version of Bud Light, because you know me, I'm a light beer drinker.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
But we got hit with a little mini snowstorm coming out of the bar. A couple inches fell over the night.
Ooh, well, that's a little different from LA. No one's expecting that. You go from rain to snow.
Let's see. Saturday we went to my mother's grandchild's basketball game, and we watched some. I'd say there were probably 8 to maybe 13 or 14-year-old kids playing basketball. They got a Saturday league.
Okay.
Which it's right at that age where some kids have hit their growth spurts and some haven't. So. Fortunately, because the team that we were rooting for, most of the kids on that team had hit their growth spurts, and the kids on the other team didn't really hit their growth spurts. So they were just dominating the boards, pulling them all down, getting the putbacks. We got to see a good old-fashioned little kids blowout.
Very cool.
Then Sunday, my mom and I went out to dinner with a friend of hers. Her name's Susan Solomon. She's an experienced writer. She was an entertainment attorney for publishing companies for many years, and she's retired now, and she writes her own books. So we went to a very, very nice steak dinner at a place called Kennedy Cove, where all the Buffalo Bills go. And we had a lot of chit-chat about Hallowed Be Thy Name and the writing process and all of that type of stuff. I am proud to report that she was impressed with my work, and she said that you're definitely a writer. So it's always good to hear from another writer that they like your work. And we had quite a few extensive conversations about how important it is for a writer to hear honest feedback and critique and all of that. So based on that conversation, I feel honored by her compliments that she gave, because I feel like they were very sincere, rather than just trying to be nice.
Nice. Well, that's very cool.
Yeah. And then is today Monday? Is it?
Today is Monday.
Today is Monday. Today I had meetings all day. We got to walk around the Wurlitzer building. That was beautiful. I got a couple-minute video to show you when we get home, the whole walk through the place.
Maybe show everybody. Maybe you upload the video and people can watch it on the YouTube channel?
No, I don't think I'm going to do that. Here's why. because the venue wasn't fully set up, so it was kind of a very open space setup. Some tables and chairs and stuff were off to the side, and I want to make sure if we're going to show them off that we show off their best foot forward. So one of the things we did offer to do for Don and the World's Building is when we come into town in May, we're going to do some 360 photos of the place when it's all set up for the Friday night event and it's in its primo tip-top shape. And we're going to go ahead and take those 360 videos for them, the pictures, and put them up on Google Maps and really give them a good presence to show off the facility. And for anyone that hasn't seen it yet, that I think is the best way that they should get to check the place out.
That's awesome. So I have a question. You saw the place. You know my biggest hiccup when it comes to events. What's the bathrooms like?
We all talked about that several times.
So what are the bathrooms like for the ladies?
Kim was happy to report there is a plethora of bathrooms at every turn. There's bathrooms in the main banquet room. There's bathrooms in the hallway to the main entrance. There's bathrooms off the stairway up to the second banquet room. There's bathrooms off the VIP banquet room. You're gonna get to go in a different bathroom every time you have to go on that night.
I don't want a single woman to have to wait to be able to use the bathroom. Like, your wait time should be less than 2 minutes. It literally should not be longer than that. And that's the fastest way to get women to leave a party early is having them know that they aren't going to be able to use the bathroom when they have to. So, baby, let's see. Yeah.
They're all big, wide-spaced bathrooms. So, give you a counterexample. I was at the bowling alley about an hour ago, meeting up with a couple more of the Gratwick boys that still do Monday bowling leagues.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and had to use one of the stalls at the bowling alley. And, maybe I do have some wide shoulders here. I can carry a big load on these wide shoulders. But my shoulders didn't fit in the stall. Like, I had to sit in the stall like this to be able to sit down because the toilet paper dispenser took even more space, so I couldn't even get through. I
feel like that's like a coding violation. Like, if they were to get them their yearly checkout, they would be in a little bit of trouble with that one.
I don't know, but I'm not going to throw them under the bus.
Well, of course not. But you kind of just did.
I will say this, though. The microbrew fad has taken Buffalo by storm. Not only was our buddy opening a brewery, there's another brewery opening up in the Wurlitzer factory, the Woodcock Brewery. The bowling alley now even has 50 taps of microbrews and all. Everywhere you go now, everybody's got 50 taps.
But how expensive is it?
Beer prices are starting to catch up to the rest of America and Buffalo. I'm sad to report.
That's the problem. Once you start getting trendy, your prices also start to get trendy.
Yeah.
Stick with the Labatt's. Speaking of Labatt's,
$4.25 for a draft of Labatt's, which up until the last time I came to Buffalo, you could get 2 drafts for $4.25. Yeah.
Huh.
And then at the at Prosper Brewing, they were $5 a glass, but they were actually a little bigger pours. But yeah, you're looking at $4 or $5 a beer now in Buffalo, which is insane.
Hey, that's the new Buffalo way.
Yeah.
They got to catch up with everyone else. That's the only way you make the dollars.
I met with Craig Turner this morning and discussed a lot of the marketing promotions for the launch event. Craig is our chair, our newly nominated, or newly appointed, I should say, chairman of the board. First he was nominated, then we approved it. But yeah, so we had a great conversation. I've got a couple more follow-up meetings tomorrow for an augmented reality app that we're hoping to get into development for Buffalo. A couple tech companies we're hoping to fold into the launch party to help shine some light on Yanni.
That would be very cool.
Michael and Beth were from Yanni. We're both at the walkthrough of the Wurlitzer, and it's all coming together, man. I'm pretty fired up and excited for it. The countdown is officially underway, and the real countdown is the one I'm concerned about, or the one I care about the most, and that's how many hours are left until I get home to you, my dear.
Aww. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're enjoying it out there though. You're with your
no,
friends, you're with baby Piper. Baby Piper is
I have
just
never,
adorable.
in the 10 years we've been going back and forth in that, I have never gotten my ass kicked by jet lag like I have this past couple days. I just can't catch up.
You know, it's
I
not
might
a...
actually sleep on the plane.
Ooh, you'll trust the pilot. I love the fact that you
Probably
think
not,
if the
but
pilot goes down, you're next in line to take it over. You know that the flight
no,
stewardesses
no.
all are trained on that. Like, have you
I
ever
highly
seen the
doubt the
movie
flight
View from
stewardess.
the Top? That's what they're trained on. Like, if they have to, they can step in and actually do it. It's not the best, but they at least know the buttons to press and the general idea. But Chris is gonna go running down the aisle and he'll save
I
it.
highly doubt the stewardesses are trained on flying planes. But no, my concern is if I fall asleep, I'm afraid the pilot's going to fall asleep. So I got to stay awake and keep an eye on everything, just in case anything goes wrong back here. Somebody's got to let them know.
Gotcha. Apologize for coughing,
So
everyone. I woke up this morning with a cough and kind of a cold thing, which is weird because it's 70s here. Like, it's perfect, but I'm getting the weather. I'm getting the symptoms that Chris should be having right now in his weather.
let's talk guests, dear. We've got our first dual guest and double remote guest joining the show here this week.
Yes, we do. We are going to be having John and his daughter, Destiny, Constantin. They are a writing duo, and they're going to be coming up here in just a second, waiting for them to call in.
Father-daughter writing duo.
Yeah, baby. It's going to be awesome. We have quite a few questions for them. Hopefully they are ready to tell us all about themselves and everything that they do with writing. It's going to be awesome. I'm very excited about this. We've had them lined up for a while.
So my question for you before they come on here while we're waiting for them to call in, do you think you could stand being a father-daughter writing duo with your dad?
With my dad? Yeah,
do you think
with
you
my
guys could
dad.
collaborate?
My dad is incredibly easygoing. Like, I think my dad would have no problem writing with absolutely anybody. But, you know, I think Dad has plenty of his own ideas where it might just be that's what he wants to do. But it looks like we have John and Destiny joining us now. Let us see.
Had to close the door there. My mom's decided to watch TV instead of the show.
That happens. Hello, Destiny. We see you. Yay. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us okay?
Yes. Yes, we can. Yay.
Our video load. It's taking a second.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes the first time you might have to refresh the browser just to, if it's taking a second for the video to load in.
Oh, or they popped out. Maybe they'll come back in.
Well,
that happens sometimes.
So they're refreshing the browser, and then they'll have to join and jump back in, and hopefully it should be good to go.
Here we go.
Still getting the Gridfam kinks sorted out there.
I see you.
Got it.
I hear you. You see me? Do you see me? Do you see Chris? Hello.
Hi, Destiny. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
We're doing great. We're glad you finally had a chance to join the show.
Sorry that it took a little bit longer than we wanted, but we're hoping that we got all the kinks worked out.
Man, this is the biggest thing we've done since last time we're on TV.
You guys were on TV? Tell us about that. Okay, we're going to start straight off with that. Tell us last time you were on TV. Tell us your stories. We want to know all about it. Are you able to hear us?
Hang on, we're making some color adjustments.
Okay.
No problem. We've had to do quite a few adjustments on our side ourselves.
Trying to get the glare out, but sometimes it's difficult. I think we got it now. Yep, here I am.
Yay! The dynamic duo.
So when were you guys on TV?
Geez. last year.
We haven't been thinking about.
It's been about 2 years. The last
Was
thing
that
we done was like Channel 2 News.
Oh, nice.
Was that for one of your
Here
books?
in Buffalo. Well, actually, we live in Lockport, but station's from Buffalo.
Were they interviewing
Nice.
you
Was
about one
that-
of your books? I think I got cut off.
Yeah, it was about our books and some other things that we had going on, but the story was like really heart wrenching.
Oh. Something we could probably track down on your website, maybe?
Still with us?
Yep, we're still here.
All right.
So, John, did you start writing before you had Destiny?
It's still like sunny outside out where you're at.
Oh, it's beautiful over here where I'm at. Absolutely beautiful. Mid-70s couldn't be better. Something everyone wishes they were around all the time. So, John.
Have you ever?
Go ahead, Chris. You go ahead.
I was going to ask Destiny. Have you ever been to California, Destiny?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh, you gotta get out there someday. It's beautiful.
Yeah, sun's still shining. Ours is
Gone. Nighttime.
dark outside.
And cold.
It'll be warmer tomorrow.
So, John, wanted to ask, did you start writing before you had Destiny, or is that something that as she was growing up you started writing together?
So you got everything we sent over to you?
Yes, I did. Yes, most definitely. We had the little logo over there. We could only fit, because we have everyone on screen, we could only fit one of the posters of the book. So I was able to get the I'm No Ordinary Girl poster up there.
So tell us about how you guys got started with writing in that. When did that journey begin for you?
That started way back when we were attending NCCC, when I was taking a creative writing class, and the first book, Journey with Dad, I actually used bonus paper for class, and that's how that started evolving. When she looked at it, she's like, "Dad, I think we could do something." She added her touch to it, and we got it published through a Libris, the self-publishing company. It's a work that's been published.
So Destiny's the entrepreneur in the team.
Yeah, I'm kind of an entrepreneur.
So I've got a book that I'm kind of working on and thinking about self-publishing myself. Tell me how the self-publishing journey's gone for you. How has that worked out? Is there any tips or advice you could share for the fellow writers and that are listening?
Self-publishing is very nice as it is in cost and more affordable, but you really have to do everything on your own. You have to really work, be very dedicated, and also be careful of um, but what company is to help you sponsor it. A Libris was really nice for our children book. They did wonderful illustrations for us and help us get started. Um, as our contract had ended, um, they weren't very helpful at the end in helping us market our work. Um, felt that they wanted all the time, and we're not um, not looking at our best interest. So,
Oh, yeah.
so recently, I wrote my first young adult novel.
Ooh.
A lot of research trying to figure out if I should um, use a program through Amazon, Barnes and Noble, if I should use the other company, Blurb. But I I decided to self-publish with Barnes and Noble. And the best part about that is it the book is not only my story, but everything about the book is what I made and created. I created the cover, our website,
Oh,
the
wow.
story, everything about it is my work. And I think that's the best about self-publishing. It's made the way you want it to be made, and you can truly say everything about it is original. No company said, you can't have that in there because it's inappropriate. You can't make the story this way because that's not what they're looking for. Um, Even though self-publishing is challenging because you're doing everything on your own and you don't have an agent or a editor or someone by your side, um, helping you through the process. I think the the reason why we chose self-publishing is because of the financial part. We really want.
And it's got to be more rewarding being able to do all of that stuff, right?
It is rewarding, and I'm proud of our work and able to say that we have created every single piece of it.
That is very
But it
cool.
is challenging, yes.
And that is so much work.
Sometimes frustrating.
That's something you should be totally proud of, because that's a big part of what we're trying to do too, is to control our own art and be able to do all the different elements and pieces. Because the marketing is the hardest part, having to do your own social media and all of that type of stuff. How many hours a day would you say you spend doing the social media and everything for your books?
It depends.
It depends. Um, these last couple of months, I haven't been able to dedicate as much time as I want because I'm in graduate school.
Ooh.
But we do try to spend a, a good amount of time trying to market our books and get the word out there that we're new authors.
So what's the young adult book about? Can you tell us a little bit about it, or is it still under wraps?
I am proud to say that part one is published and on sale now.
Oh.
There is um, there are going to be changes made to it when part two is ready for publication. But Unmarried Girl is really meaningful to me because the main character is inspired by my journey of dealing with sickness and becoming wheelchair bound. And I wanted to tell my story because I want to inspire others with people with disabilities that you're still able to accomplish your dreams no matter what. And I it was too difficult for me to do a biography, but I wanted to create a story in a fantasy way as young adult novels that I enjoy reading.
So now, where could somebody find the book if they wanted to buy it?
It's on sale through Barnes and Noble. Unfortunately, it's exclusively Barnes and Noble right now, but I am looking into getting the book sold through Amazon.
That's awesome. So you guys have written how many books together
you can also
so
go
far?
through our website, but the link will direct you to Barnes and Noble.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Constance Books, ConstanceBooks.com, right? The same as your Twitter handle?
You gotta add the S at the end of books because of Twitter you only have too many characters.
Yeah. So what was the first book that you guys wrote together, and how long ago did you guys publish that one?
First book is called The Journey with Dad. It's a children's book, and it was published in 2013.
A couple days after Christmas, which was nice.
Christmas gifts for everybody. And so I have a question. How did you guys start writing together? Like, what made you actually decide that you wanted to write together. Most people can't get along with their parents that well, and you've chosen to work with like family members. How does that work?
Be collaborative.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
we got a lot of ideas, running around. We just throw them down and see what happens.
so is there one person who does typing and the other, or do you guys take turns on that? How do you work out who has to be the person who's
How's the
actually
writing
doing
process
that
go?
part as opposed to thinking up new things and having to slow down?
You have your spurts where you just want to keep going and going. There's times where you run into a writer's block and take a look at it, come back, and like, oh wait, we should have done this, and then you get that flow again.
So you said your first book that you guys did together came out in 2013. How long did it take you to write that book? I have a feeling you didn't hear me. Chris, did you hear me?
Yeah, and Andrew was asking how long did it take you guys to write your first book?
Start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
For a bonus paper, it took like just a day. But to actually physically write and finish it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say about 6 months.
Oh wow, that's fast. That's super. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
So here's the big question: who's the editor in the duo?
I am.
He is.
Catching all Dad's grammar mistakes?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what kind of... Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. I could throw a lot of creative ideas and put them down, and then my daughter's like, Dad, this is wrong, this is wrong. I'll just fix it.
Well, it must be a strong woman thing, because Andrea is my editor as well, and she basically makes me look like a real writer on top, as well.
Must just be a girl thing.
But I'm glad she helps me, though, or else my stuff will look like garbage. Like, you won't be able to make sense of it.
Yeah.
So, do you always want to write...
My dad's very talented with his ideas. It's just that sometimes he doesn't always write everything he was thinking, so it'll be like an incomplete sentence that doesn't sound right.
Oh, yeah.
You got to pull the rest of the idea out of him.
Where he has half of the idea in his head and he doesn't realize the reader doesn't have that other half of information. I've seen that happen a couple times before, too. So, are there stories that you want to write individually that, like, the other... Like, say you have an idea for a story, Destiny, but your dad doesn't really feel like it. Are you going to write stories on your own, or do you guys only want to write stories together?
My writing process has really changed, though. Last year I changed my graduate program to English and Korean writing, and my teachers have really gave me confidence and believed in my storylines and ideas, and helped me elaborate when it comes to dialogue and really world building. Um, I even have published my first short story, and I never written a short story before. And I think I really have grown as a writer, which you can see in my new book. And I learned how to use like world building worksheets and get ideas on how to write things using writing resources. One of the things I learned how to use one of my class textbooks, writing fiction, gives you an outline on how to write narrative, and I've been learning a lot of resources to help me become a better writer.
Which do you find more challenging, a short story or a full-length story?
At this moment, I think a short story. I recently just finished a fiction fundamental developmental course, and our final project was writing a short story. And I had a basic storyline idea that I wanted to do, but I couldn't add as much detail as I wanted to because of
Yeah.
the word count. The story had 500 words, and I wanted to write very detail about where she lived, her clothes, what she was going through, give her a good, strong background so her character would be relatable. But I had to cut some of that out because I was going over the word count.
Yeah, I'm a verbose writer as well. Short stories are challenging because you got to really compress that information in there and get it out.
So, as a writer, and I'm guessing you're also readers since you write, who do you like to read? Like, what style? Who's your favorite writer? Like, I'm guessing you each have
For the
different favorite
contest
writers.
in
Yeah,
the 716 area code.
I guess in any area code. What do you? Who do you
I'm
prefer to
sorry,
read?
John, you cut out a little bit there. Can you repeat the question?
Did you find a winner in the 716 contest that you had posted on Twitter?
Oh, for the Buffalo Star Search? No, not yet. We're still submitting projects, taking project submissions on that. I actually just stopped by Pulp 716 today and picked up some of the submissions that have been dropped off on project proposals and that. We're trying to collect as many as we can and then start kind of really getting into them after the launch event in May. And we want to really keep it open to as many submissions as possible and finding as many artists and creatives and everything as we can to really have a wide range of projects to look at and consider. But that's going to go on right up until the launch event on May 10th, which hopefully both of you guys will come and join us for the party. It's going to be in North Tonawanda.
At the Wurlitzer building.
Is that gonna be?
Oops, sorry, I think I cut you off.
Where is it gonna be? We're gonna be like downtown Buffalo somewhere.
No, it's going to be at the Wurlitzer Events Facility in North Tonawanda. Are you familiar with the old Wurlitzer organ factory?
Oh, North Tonawanda? Yeah, I can find it. I'm not too far. I'm in Lockport.
Yeah. Lockport's North Tonawanda is a lot closer to downtown from Lockport. But yeah. Oh, for sure. We'll send you a direct invitation. They've got two giant floors that they've converted into banquet halls and all of that. It's gorgeous inside of there. They've done a whole kind of lumber city vibe to the ambiance.
So we have a couple questions from our Discord people.
Nice.
And
yeah, we'll look forward to that.
That will be super fun in May. And for right now, we have a couple questions from the people in our Discord server who wanted to know more about you guys.
Since last summer, fairground during the Palooza.
Well, this is going to be a big one, and we're going to be interviewing any of the artists that show up and come there. So if you guys come to the event, we can get you on the live stream of the event and sit down and actually be able to talk to you in person. We don't have to worry about connections and Wi-Fi and all of that stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So how many books and stories altogether? How many different times have you been published?
Total of 3.
Nice. Now, are they all different stories, or are they part of a series of books?
2 children books are connected. The Dirty My Dad, and then there's a part 2 called The Dirty My Dad 2. I'm Not a Girl is a whole new story that is written. It's my independent. But it was the test reader.
I'll put it to you like this: every time she wrote a chapter, I couldn't put it down.
I know you could see it. But this is my new project.
Yep.
What's What's the
We've
title
got
of
that
it?
up on screen. It's I'm No
I'm
Ordinary
no
Girl.
ordinary girl.
Nice. Nobody wants an ordinary girl.
The scene sequence she has in that and the way she's describing her character is like kind of like a sci-fi novel with realism in it.
That's awesome.
It's
So,
really
do you
nice
like
story.
sci-fi novels? Is that like the genre that you guys generally will read on your own for fun? Or what, like, who's your favorite authors? Tell us about who helped form the style and the ideas and that you've seen and you're like, that's good. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
I think my audio probably cut out. Chris, could you hear me?
I was looking for our Discord questions here from the audience, so I was queuing them up, dear.
Okie dokie. Well, we do have
What was your-
quite a few. Well, I was just wondering who they like for writers, who you guys like to read. Like, who is your go-to just to read for fun? I somehow feel like I'm not able to get my audio all the way across.
Are you guys having trouble hearing Andrea?
Yeah, we're just hearing you.
Okay, well,
There.
Chris, okay, then
So Andrea was
I have a
asking
list of questions
who-
if you would read them.
Andrea was asking who your inspirations are as writers yourselves and who you enjoy reading the most.
For me, I am a huge fan of Constantin. I'm also a fan of J.K. Rowling and Nicholas Sparks.
Very cool.
I think mine's Mark Twain.
Wow, going
Going
back to
old
the
school.
classics.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with the classics. I think we all learn from them. They have great
his
storytelling.
Writing style is unique.
M, can you...
That's for sure.
Kind of tells it like it is if you read his books, you know.
Hey, Chris, we
Okay,
have
so-
all the Discord questions under the pinned messages. And since I am apparently not able to be heard, would you please go ahead and read them? There are ones that say specifically for John and Destiny, and which ones are for M, and which are for us, but we have quite a few of them. They're all pinned under the general.
Okay. What was the first book series you fell in love with reading, and what about it appealed to you?
I did.
Me, I don't read that much, but I kind of like Harry Potter.
Harry Potter is
Oh,
very
you-
good. I'm a big fan of Harry Potter. Yeah.
I know.
I can't do. I can't do the Potter.
Chris never
But then-
got into
but then
it.
I watched the movies, and the movies are like a lot better than the books.
No.
Really? That's usually not the case.
But yeah, you actually, you know, when you read a book, you know, you form your own opinion, and then you look at the movie, and it's like, wow, the artistry and the
True.
special effects they put into it, it kind of makes the book come to life more than actually reading it.
That is very true. I do agree that the effects make a huge difference.
For me, the first book series I fell in love with was The Hunger Games.
I haven't read
Oh,
those. I've
yeah.
only seen the movies, but I've heard good things about the book. How do you think it compares to the movies? Do you think it's similar to the books?
Yeah, our biggest dream is to have like our children's books to come like into a movie or like a cartoon.
That would be very
that was one of the
cool.
questions on there. Is do you guys have dreams of developing them into series and stuff? Have you explored that option at all yet?
A little bit, but not much.
So would you guys want to make them yourselves, or would you want to have somebody else be the director or producer for your stories?
I will want someone else because that is not my expertise.
On it, in case they have questions or something. If they like, if we don't like something, we can say, hey, try it this way. But that's one of our dreams, or like even a play, just to see the
Oh.
just to see the book come to life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is something that was an amazing experience for our first film's kind of right there. And that first time you see your words on the page acted out and come to life is an unbelievable experience. And I hope you both get to experience that at some point, because it is one of those ones that tug on the heartstrings.
Exactly.
So, Destiny, what else are you passionate about besides writing? What hobbies and activities do you enjoy?
I'm a big baker. I
Oh,
am a self-taught baker. Um, I love to make cakes and cupcakes. I even had my own cupcake business. 2 years.
you got businesses all over the place. You are an entrepreneur.
Now the big question is, do you like
Yeah,
the
I'm not
Great
gonna
British
lie.
Baking
Her
Show?
baking is phenomenal, and I'm her dad, and I don't mean to be biased, but better than any bake shop.
What's the specialty dish? What's your signature baking item?
That would be my red velvet brownie cupcake.
Brownie cupcakes,
Oh.
nice.
Where
That is
where where
very
does
cool.
somebody get the red velvet brownie cupcakes?
Unfortunately, I had to close my cupcake down, but I would be happy to make some for you if you would like.
Well, if you want to make one special for the May event and sneak it off to the side for me, because there's gonna be way too many people there to have you cook for everybody, I would love a red velvet brownie.
Okay, I'll make a box just for you.
Oh, now we're getting along. Bribing me with those sweets. So here's a question we kind of ask everybody that joins the show. What do you want your legacy to be as a creator and a storyteller? If everything goes as planned in that, how would you like to be remembered as a creative? Were you able to hear me, Destiny?
Yeah, she's
Yes.
thinking.
Oh, stumped you.
I think for me, I just want to remember it as a good person and a great, and to see how far our books can go.
Have you guys gotten any kind of fan feedback and reached out and said, "Hey, I really like your books and it's kind of touched me and really connected with me"?
Kind of broke up a little bit. I think you want to know if our books touch you or anything. I don't know.
I was asking, have you guys had any fans reach out to you directly or anything yet? Like send an email and say, "Hey, I read the book and I really loved it, and it meant so much to me, and I connected with your story from that perspective." Has any fans reached out directly to you yet and said how much they liked your work?
Yeah, a couple of them. We go shopping at Walmart, and one lady remembered us from going to Triple C, and she talks about our books and how much her son loves her.
So you guys got recognized in public then?
Yes.
Oh, that's even better. That's great. That's when you know you're making the impact, when they stop you in the Walmart and say, "Hey, nice job."
I also got the opportunity to read our book to the second grade class that I was teaching in, and they fell in love with the story. Um, and that was a dream come true for me because the reason I started wanted to be a writer is because I wanted to create a story that I could tell my future students, as my dream is to become a teacher.
Oh, nice. So there's another passion besides the writing and all of that. You want to be a teacher. Is there a particular subject that you want to teach?
Yes, I what is great about my program that I'm in, the English and Korea writing program is not only helping me become a better writer, but it's giving me the knowledge and experience I need to become an English professor.
Wow.
Oh,
That's awesome. That's very cool.
That's a tough one.
yeah. You got a good editor there if she wants to be an English professor.
Oh yeah. With me going back to school, I got a good tutor too.
Andrea might be in jeopardy of getting replaced as my editor.
That's perfectly fine. I'm fine with that. That's fine. That's
I don't
okay.
want to take anyone's job away.
Oh, you can have it. Here you go. You may take it. Have fun with that.
Yeah. Sorry, Andrea, you can't compete with a future English professor.
That's fine by me. No more competition.
So when will the next book be ready? How do you know about how far away you are from publishing it?
I would love to get part 2 of I'm No Ordinary Girl out by the end of this year, but I don't know if that's possible.
Just in time for Christmas?
Yes, actually, I'm No Ordinary Girl came out 2 weeks before Christmas, and it was the last book being published before the 2019 year.
Wow.
Oh, nice. So it just came out a couple months ago then.
Yes.
Awesome.
So, wow, you okay?
Yeah.
That was a weird noise.
My screen dimmed on me. I was supposed to read one. You're up, Andrea.
We have the Discord questions that I've asked you a couple times to please go ahead and read under the pinned messages.
I've been asking the Discord questions.
Okay.
I've been layering them in as we've gone along.
So what's your writing process like? How do you decide who takes the reins when a disagreement takes place? That is one of our questions from the Discord group. They want to know who decides. Is it the editor or is it the dad? Or is it, how do you work this out? Chris, I don't think they can hear me.
So Andrea was asking if you guys are kind of battling it out for which direction the story goes. How do you guys kind of work through the competing different ideas and all of that on how to get over a hurdle or an obstacle that you guys have kind of different ideas on?
Question. I think we talk about it for a while and then just come back to a happy medium, and then when with her editing process, she tries to throw both of the ideas in there. But there's like no arguing or nothing. Sometimes there is, creative difficulty that happens, but
Oh yeah, you got to have that friction to make the best story.
exactly. But it works out great. Besides,
Go ahead, sir.
I didn't know she wanted to be a writer, so by doing that bonus paper and getting it published, I actually made my daughter's dreams come true. And look, now we got a couple books out there.
Yeah, that's great. As somebody that's been working on one book for several years, I'm quite impressed. You guys knocked a few of them out already. So, Destiny, have you ever had to bribe your dad with the sweets to kind of get him to come to your side of the table on the creative the creative differences?
I don't think so, even though Dad does love my baby. I think we have always work good together. And even if something doesn't fit into the project we're currently working on, we always save it for another story if it won't fit into the one we're working on. But I think we're good at compromising and
So,
having
mhm.
um, like putting both of our ideas into the story.
How do you pick what your next story is going to be? Like you just said, sometimes you have little bits that you save for a different story, but then you have all these little bits out there. How do you pick which one you want to go to next?
If you didn't hear, Andrew was asking where do you find the inspiration for your stories,
No,
and
that's not what
how do
I
you?
asked. I asked how do you pick which one next when they have all the
Well, the
different
craziest thing
parts?
is being
Like,
in Lockport. There's like a lot of long roads with woods, and so the first story that we did, the journey with Dad, was an inspiration from a road that we drove down, and I would, and with the saying, when I would leave the house, like two lone wolves, and then the funny thing is, I would picture them driving down this road and look at the forest, and oh, there's a wolf out there, or example, Crazy Town towards the end of the book is like basically based on that road.
that's cool. So it's things that are around you that actually inspire
Yeah.
the next stories. That's very
Awesome.
cool.
So we are coming to the end of the half hour here. We've got to keep the show under a certain amount of time. So thank you both very much for joining the show. And Barnes and Nobles, Constance Books, that's the best place to find everything aside from the website, which is constantbooks.com as well. Is that correct?
And we post things on Twitter from now and then.
And at Constantine's book is your Twitter handle, so everyone can see that on screen. That's where they can go to find you.
Do you guys have Instagram and Facebook as well?
Don't have Instagram, but we do have Facebook.
And is your Facebook page also Constance Books?
I should probably change the name to it, but right now it's labeled as father and daughter, Destiny and Constantin.
Well, if we go to the website, we'll be able to find you, though. It'll still have a link on there.
We post a lot of things on there, and I try to post on Twitter when I can.
Perfect. Well, everyone, we can check them out on Twitter, on Facebook, and on their website and Barnes and Noble. Chris, let them know I'm saying goodbye because they can't hear me, and we got Emily waiting and ready to come on for Emily's Corner, so I will let you do the spiel.
Andrea says thank you very much for joining the show. She's excited to read one of your books, and I'll read it after her. We're excited to have you guys at the event in May and be our guest again. And anyone that wants to check out Constance Books can go to Facebook and search Constance Books, and you'll find their fan page. It's under a different name, but we're going to share that after you guys can send us the link after we jump off the show, and we'll make sure to share that on our Facebook page. So Constance, or Destiny, I'm sorry. Destiny, we're going to be looking for that book by the end of the year. We're going to stay on you and make sure you guys pump that out, and you get all Dad's editing done. So we have something to look forward to for the Christmas holiday season. And when that happens, well, when you guys are ready to publish your next book, make sure you let us know, and we'll have you on the show again, and we'll talk about the book and really get into. We'll have a whole show just about that book and what's going on. So Andrea and I will review it, and we'll get you on and talk about the whole story.
Most definitely. Thank you so much for having us and taking the time to share your fans with us.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you for coming on. We greatly appreciate it. And sorry that you couldn't hear me, but I could hear all of you, and I was very enthused, very excited.
John and Destiny, thank you both so much. You're an absolute inspiration to fathers and daughters everywhere for just getting along so well to collaborate in the creative process, let alone pumping out these books on a regular basis. I love it, man. Thank you guys both so much for coming on the show and spending some time with us tonight.
Thank
you're welcome.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. Thank you
for
guys.
having us. Look forward to seeing you again in May.
Yes, we'll see you
Absolutely.
again very
Have a
soon.
good night, Destiny.
Thank you. All right. And everyone, John and Destiny, Constantin, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And let's see if we're going to have Emily join us now. She's been waiting, hoping.
We're pumping out the guests.
Fingers crossed.
Oh.
Oh,
Bring the
it's
next
trying.
one in. So, I think you might have to refresh Gridfam. We've got Emily.
M's Corner. I see it. I see it. Oh, I see you. Do you hear
Emily,
us?
can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and we can hear you too.
Can you hear Andrea?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Barely.
But I think I'm a little delayed on my Facebook, so.
It's all me.
Are you watching on Facebook or are you watching through the Gridfam?
I'm watching through Facebook because I can't see her or hear her without watching the actual show.
Hello. I am.
That is not the way Gridfam is supposed to work here.
Right. Like I can see you and hear you, but I can't see or hear her without like watching the show.
Andrew, I think you got to refresh your browser.
I think if I refresh my browser, you all go away though.
Yeah, but we'll have to just call back in real quick because you've been frozen on my side for a little bit as well, and I think that's why nobody can hear you. Because if M has to watch through Facebook and talk back, that we're gonna hear me coming back into the feed there. So let's refresh Gridfam for us, and Emily and I will jump back in.
Okie dokie, everybody. This is gonna be a new thing. Let's see what happens. Oh, this is the fun of live. Refresh. Let's see what happens. Looks like I have two people calling. What is going to happen? Who knows? So very exciting. I tell you what, technology is amazing. Can you hear? That's how you know the sun is definitely still up right now at 7:02 p.m. on the Pacific, is because they're still working when before it would be so dark they would have already gone home. Well, looks like the refresh was not the ticket. Most definitely not the ticket. Okay, lost one camera. Oh, seeing if I like that. One person drops and you all switch around. I see Chris.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, I hear Chris. Let's see.
Come on back, Em.
Okay. Oh, uh-oh. I dropped him. All right. I dropped Chris. And now here's Em. Let's try it again. Tell you what, it's worth it though, because Em is going to tell us all about what is going on with the murder mystery game night. Okie dokie, so something stopped beach balling. Both of them stopped beach balling on your screen that you're all seeing, but on mine, still beach balling. And we're going to refresh. We're going to try it again. I see Chris. I'm not touching anything.
Okay.
Emily's still spinning, but I'm guessing if we got you, we'll be getting her in just a minute.
Yeah, just leave it for now. If she's not able to get back in, we're gonna have to talk to the Gridfam guys and see what the issue is, because it's clearly still not working the way it's supposed to work.
And the funny thing is, we tested it. We tested it since 4:30. Em and I tested it. John and Destiny tested it. You and I tested it. We've done the testings.
Yeah, I don't know how much more patience I'm gonna have with Gridfam's program here, because they just keep messing with it, and it's
Well, they are
Not
trying to improve it. That's what messing with it is trying to make improvements. And it's theirs, and it's something that we found that's worked most of the time. It's
most of the time.
worked half of the time. I gave it the half glass full. Whoa!
Oh,
Yeah! Can you hear us?
can
Can you see us?
you hear Andrea?
I can see you and hear you, but I cannot see or hear her.
Only on the computer, because I'm doing my happy dance that you're back on screen. Yeah!
All right.
She's
Well,
not
this.
on my screen.
Aw.
Well, Andrea doesn't have to talk that much anyway because this is M's corner. So
Well
Andrea's
then.
gonna mostly talk to the audience when she chimes in, and I'll give you the engagement, Emily.
Oh, yeah, you're
So
really
what-
good at relaying my messages. Super.
So what do we have for Emily's corner this week?
Let's see. I know okay, so to get out of the way first, because it doesn't really have much to do with much people, but after like several months of planning,
Thank you,
my mom finally knows about the big Vegas trip. I did the reveal. We're going to
Yeah!
Vegas in the beginning of November. So excited.
So for everybody that's not in our Discord server, which by the way, get in our Discord server. It's discord.me/Gratwick. Emily has been telling us for months about this secret surprise plan that she's been preparing for her mom. And you just kind of skimmed over what the surprise was there. Give us the down and dirty details. What was the surprise?
Okay, so my mom's been a big fan of Donny Osmond since she was a kid, and she's never gotten to see him live. And they have a show, him and his sister have a show in Vegas, and it's actually their last member. And so I worked 2 jobs because Las Vegas tickets are pricey.
Mhm.
And I got her VIP meet and greet tickets to go see Donny Osmond in Las Vegas.
Nice. There's
then
another part of that.
They
there's
just
another part
found
of that
out.
gift too.
So your mom was kind of deciding not to, and then tell us that part. Tell us the good stuff.
I'm sorry. I'm just so relieved that I'm done. Like, it's no longer a surprise. Like, it's been since October. I've had to keep this inside.
Definitely put a lot of work into it.
Yes. Oh, we also get to go to Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, you didn't tell us that part.
Oh yeah, yeah. Me and my mom's favorite show is of Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen and Cake Boss,
Well,
and they both
wait,
have.
Are you going to be like one of the people that's like when the show's going on, that's at one of the tables eating the food that they make, or if it gets served? Because I've seen a few Hell's Kitchens where they just kick everybody out and they don't even serve the food.
It's funny because we actually just read that they're supposed to film for the next season at that location because usually they would film in Los Angeles. So who knows? They could be filming, and we could just get kicked out starving and not get to eat.
I think if I ever went to Hell's Kitchen and I was one of the people in the restaurant with the opportunity to eat, I think that's what I would want. I would want to see so much drama go on that Gordon kicked us all out. So
And,
what about the Tim Burton Museum?
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yeah, well, that's more a surprise for me. So, just like I was so happy to know this, but Tim Burton has a museum of all his artwork and art pieces from his movies, and it's very like the last time he had his exhibit in the U.S. was like almost a decade ago, and it's actually going to be in Las Vegas the time we are going to be there. So I am just so because like what a great timing.
Do you have any details on like what to expect or what kind of displays and exhibits are part of the Tim Burton Museum?
From what I've seen on the internet, there's like a giant sandworm from Beetlejuice.
Sweet.
There's pictures in his drawings of like his characters that he's done, like I'm sure
Nightmare
Nightmare
Before Christmas.
Edward Scissorhands.
Oh,
I think
Edward
there's Batman.
Scissorhands.
I'm hoping for some Sweeney Todd. I love Sweeney Todd. And then Mars Attacks actually takes place some parts in Las Vegas, so I assume he would have some connection to that.
That's a Burton movie?
Nice.
I didn't know Mars Attacks was a Burton movie.
I didn't know that was a Burton movie either.
Yeah.
Huh.
You forget about that, but yeah.
What about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Charlie, oh, you're talking about Willy Wonka.
That's Tim Burton.
Yeah. Well, as a somewhat of a Tim Burton fan, I'm going to deny that movie exists. That was
Alice in Wonderland?
Unfortunate.
As a Johnny Depp fan, I'm going to ignore that movie exists.
Johnny Depp.
So, like, if I was going to a Tim Burton museum, I feel like there should be a Tim Burton funhouse attached to the museum as well, because I feel like he designed a completely mind-blowing funhouse.
Right, I would think that too, and especially since he always uses in his movies black and white stripes. You always see that. Like, I just see like one of those black and white swirls, like for a funhouse, like that's just his motif.
Like when Beetlejuice, his arms turn into the big hammers and he knocks them up. Yeah, that'd be great if they had like because I'm guessing they did that as a practical effect. So somewhere there's got to be a big giant Beetlejuice like with the arms and yeah, that would be a cool thing to see at the museum. You got to take some serious pictures when you go.
I will definitely be taking lots and lots of photos and definitely sharing them with you guys. So I'm excited. My mom is excited.
So happy that your mom didn't get to convince you to not do that anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. How'd your mom react?
Okay, so for her birthday, which was actually Friday, at a local winery, they were doing the office trivia. So there was 10 of us, including my mom and me, and we did the trivia. We ended up getting second place, got a bottle of wine, and then so after the trivia ended, I had this box with Chef Ramsay and Cake Boss on it, because they both have shops in Las Vegas, and those are our two favorite shows.
Did you make the box?
What?
Did you make the box? I saw the pictures of.
Yeah, so I bought like 3 cheap boxes from Walmart, and I painted them with acrylic paint, printed out pictures, pasted them, and then I drew flames and a cake, and then inside that box, I blew up 30 balloons and put them inside. And then there was a blue and purple box with a heart and diamond motif on it for kind of like to give her the Vegas theme without like being direct. And inside that box was fake money and a green box, which I put pink flamingos because that's where Donny performs, is at the Flamingo Hotel.
Sweet.
And so it looked like a dice with the flamingos as the dots. And inside that was the guidebook to Las Vegas, and she just she couldn't believe she just thought she was going to Las Vegas, like we were going to just take a trip to Las Vegas. Her a deck of cards box, and she's like, "Oh, an empty box." I'm like, "It's not empty." So she opened it up, and there was the ticket for Donny and Marie, and she's just like, "No way, these are so expensive." And I go, "Well, yeah, that's why I work 2 jobs."
That is
so
cool.
I'm like, you deserve it, so.
So it all worked out in the end. You were stressing for a while and pulling it all together, but it all was worth it.
So glad she didn't convince you to change your mind. That was a worry a couple weeks ago.
I always stress out. I like things. I like to plan out things, and when things don't go smoothly or as according to plan, my anxiety starts to rise a bit.
Reminds me of someone else I know. Christopher.
Just like this murder mystery. Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at the segue on this one.
Yeah.
We got a pro.
Tell us about the plans.
So now that the surprise is finally out, now my new stress, which isn't really stress, I'm having a lot of fun with it. Of course, I wanted to make sure it goes well, but we are doing a murder mystery on April 6th.
Murder
When do we
mystery.
when do we find out what our
Murder
characters are?
mystery.
Probably either this upcoming weekend. I'm gonna see this upcoming weekend. I
I'm
have
gonna
all
need
the
a, I'm
characters.
gonna need at least a week to find my costume.
Which is what I was thinking this weekend. I got everybody's characters' names already done, and they're themed. So it's really just like, if I wanted to add like, you know, a little more pizzazz to their character, like, you know, if they're a doctor, then they can wear more doctorish gear. If they're, you know, if I wanted to add that kind of pizzazz to it.
Will
I
my
have a
character be from the
Slimer.
South?
I have a Slimer costume. I can totally be a Slimer
I'm
ghost.
trying to remember what name I gave you. It's funny because you can tell by some of the names that I gave out. You can tell like almost like what they are going to be, like a starlet or like a has-been. A crotchety old has-been is my favorite.
Well, I'm bringing a Southern accent come hell or high water. So, is there any other details you can share? How's this all gonna work?
Okay. Well, actually, that's I was already talking to Andrea about this. So, how is it going to work? Like, I need to like, are we doing it via Gridfam or are we doing it?
No.
How are we doing the videos?
We're gonna do it in Discord, and then we're gonna stream the Discord feed of all of us. Discord has proven to be a lot more stable with multiple chat windows, so we can have up to 8 without it being too much of a problem. So that should help make things a lot easier for us.
And then how are we gonna get it from
And
Discord
is it
to
just
live
us
streaming?
talking, or is it going to be video too?
It's gonna be video too. I'm not dressing up for Andrea.
Wow.
Oh, video. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I hope everyone just heard
Then,
that.
yeah, that helps me out. So like,
Not dressing
I'll
up
give
for
you
Andrea.
this. So I was planning that to
Don't dress up
do
for
one
you
of the
either.
clues for Who Done It. Is everyone is going to solve. I'll give them a puzzle, and everyone has to solve it. And when they are done solving the puzzle, if you all like hold completed puzzle, it will reveal one clue for everyone.
Ooh.
Like your small puzzles will create one big picture.
Nice.
Is what
Wow.
I'm hoping. Is what I'm hoping.
The M's Corner after the week of the mystery, we're gonna really have to get into how you kept it all straight in your brain and built these puzzles within puzzles.
Yeah, it's I mean, I love doing it. I love being creative in any form. So, it is a challenge. Like I was telling the Discord that when I was making a murder mystery for my friend's birthday, which was in October, I started planning in July, giving me like a few months. You called me up and you're like, "Hey, you got a couple of weeks. You want to do this?"
Well, I figured you were just going to use the same one you had set up for the friends and all of that, and just apply it to it. But you're a perfectionist, and you're an artist. You can't repeat mysteries. You came up with a whole new one for us. Unbelievable.
I did, and I already know who the murderer is, and I know who it is, and I know who the victim is.
It's me. I'm the victim. I claim the victim. I'm the Slimer. I come back as a ghost. I've got the outfit.
So you're gonna MC the night,
Slimer outfit. I do. I just got it.
Like, I'm gonna know everything. I'm gonna be the detective, and in the end, you guys are gonna tell me who you think it is, and I'm gonna do my little Sherlock Holmes and be like, elementary, my dear Watson, it was this person.
Yeah, that was a good impression. I liked it. I like the British accent. You guys like that?
Are you a Bill and Ted fan, Em?
Yes, and I saw it.
Which of the two is your favorite?
Everyone probably says it, but don't know. Like, I don't know. That's a hard one. Like, Keanu Reeves is Keanu Reeves. You can't mess with him. But at the same time, Alex Winter is like, I don't know. He's like hilarious in those movies.
No. Not which one, Bill or Ted. You can't choose between Bill or Ted.
okay.
Oh yeah, you can.
Oh, which
Bogus-
movie?
You choose
Yes,
Keanu.
Bogus
We all know
Journey or
you choose
Excellent
Keanu.
Adventure?
Oh,
It's
come
not
on.
even a question.
That's easy. It's the sequel, with death.
Truly, 'cause that's what I was getting at when they're playing
No.
through. My favorite part in movie history is when Death slams the magnetic football board down and Bill and Ted are like, best out of 7? He's like, damn right. Yeah, after that movie came out, I dressed up as Death for the next 10 years. That was my costume every year, and it wasn't like just a Grim Reaper. It was the dude from Bill and Ted. Yeah.
There's very few sequels that can actually beat its original, but I think that one and Back to the Future sequel are both like just the better of all of them.
So we have a question for Emily. As a
Oh,
fellow member of the SPN family, what are your top 5 episodes? Chris, repeat it. It's in the pinned questions too, in case you want to get it correct.
As a fellow member of the SPN family or crew, I don't know what SPN is.
It doesn't matter. She does.
On that.
What are your top 5 episodes?
They're done.
What are your top 5 episodes?
Oh man.
Oh yeah. You're gonna answer now.
I bet I know who asked this.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, top 5. A lot of them are from like probably the first like 5 seasons. Actually, as much as I like the later seasons too, the first like few seasons were the best. Anything with the trickster were hilarious. When they go, there's one episode where they go inside, like they're in different like kind of TV shows, like a Grey's Anatomy and then a sitcom show, and it's so funny. So that'd probably be one. Another one would be the Mystery Spot, which is another trickster episode. And Dean, spoiler alert, Dean dies like 100 times in the most ridiculous ways. One, he's like takes a bite of a taco and he's like, "These tacos taste funny to you?" And he dies.
That's how I feel about street tacos.
Probably the season finale of the first one. First episode of the second season because of what happens with their dad, John Winchester. And actually, I'll go my 5th favorite episode. I'll go with the one that just happened. They actually brought their dad, John Winchester, played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. They brought him back for an episode, and it was awesome.
Siobhan says Tuesday Pig in a Poke. I don't know what that means, but Chris, repeat it.
Siobhan has apparently said Tuesday Pig in a Poke.
Yes, that is one of that's the mystery spot.
It's an episode.
That's the episode. That's the trickster episode. Yep. Hot sauce. Yep. She knows what's up.
So you've answered before about your favorite Disney movie. Sam wants to know who's your favorite Disney princess. Chris, you have to repeat it because you can't hear me.
Oh, my bad. Relay. Who is your favorite Disney princess?
Jasmine, because my favorite Disney prince movie is Aladdin. So I'd have to say Jasmine.
And why do you like Aladdin more than any of the other princes?
I'm gonna trump Andrea's question.
No, you're not.
You can't hear, so
you
I can cut right in here.
What the mother?
Are you fired up for the live action version of Aladdin?
Honestly,
with Blue Will.
Honestly, at first I was like, no. I'm like, I'll just stick with that because a lot of the live actions have not really been hitting the mark with me.
What about Once Upon a
And
Time?
I really don't care to see Lion King. No offense to
I
any of
don't
those
know
people.
what's gonna happen with that goes on.
Ask her if she likes the stories in Once Upon a Time when they
this
change them.
latest trailer that came out for Aladdin, I was actually like, okay, this actually looks a little bit better. And Will Smith actually made a comment that really made me I didn't care one way if he was blue or not, but he made a comment to Robin Williams saying, "You left big shoes to fill, and like I hope I do you right," basically.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are like, he's not Robin Williams. And it's like, he's not trying to be.
I heard everybody freaked out that the genie wasn't going to be blue. Then when they finally saw a picture of Will Smith in all blue makeup, they all freaked out that the genie was blue.
Well, that's how it is. You can't make anyone happy. They're gonna complain whether he's blue, not blue.
So Andrea had asked moments ago before I trumped her question, why is Aladdin your favorite Disney movie?
No, Prince. Favorite Disney Prince.
No, that when growing up, that was just the one I really like turned to. Like I had all of them. There's 3 of them in total. Sequels were nothing. But I would. They never are really. But I would put them in and watch them, and I don't know if it was just like the whole genie or the whole new world song was amazing, of course. But yeah, I'm not really sure. I just and it could have been Robin Williams as well that really brought it. That's just the one I always turn to.
He was really funny.
I don't.
What?
I'm trying to think of what my favorite Disney movie would be, and I don't. I know I have one, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
And
I like Pete's Dragon.
And it's funny because like Disney actually has like quite a bit of movies that you forget are Disney, like, and not since they bought Fox and Marvel and all of them, but like actual Disney, like you're like, oh yeah, that was a Disney movie, wasn't it? Like, you forget.
Yeah.
Was Goonies a Disney movie?
I don't think Goonies was a Disney movie. Was Goonies a Disney movie?
It could have been.
Was that actually?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'd like to believe
it wasn't. It could be now, though.
Yeah.
It could be now.
Doesn't count now.
Our picture shows a Disney movie now. Frankenfurter is the new Disney princess.
So is Deadpool.
He belongs there, though. He's part of the Marvel universe. He belongs there.
Yeah, but it's going to be the only Disney franchise. Yeah, it's going to be only R-rated Disney franchise.
Oh, we gotta think it's
Disney
WB.
Needs some R-ratedness happening.
They're gonna be.
Andrea?
Siobhan says thinks it's Warner Brothers. Goonies was a Warner Brothers.
Goonies probably, Warner Brothers sounds about right for Goonies.
Yep.
So Saturday, April 6th, our murder mystery's going down. What is that? That's like less than 2 weeks away, isn't it?
2.
It's about 2 weeks.
This weekend, I get to go to Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City, Missouri, and I get to meet Heather Morgan and John Marston from Red Dead Redemption 2.
Ooh. Take lots and lots of pictures. Chris is gonna be jealous. You saw that right away. He got all jealous. What?
So excited.
That's gonna be awesome.
Okay. So I'm gonna bring the Gratcast to a little bit of an end here. It's 10:30 on the East Coast. I've been trying desperately to catch up on sleep. So
it's all hate you now. It's all hate at once.
Yep. And we'll be back in the studio next week, and that way Emily can be the only remote guest, and she'll be able to hear both Andrea and I, and it'll go a little better. But Em, any final words for this week's Em's Corner?
No, I'm working away on the murder mystery, and let's just say, there's gonna be some screams
Woo!
So
I like it.
So next Monday, it'll be after the Saturday that you've issued all of the roles. So for
Yes.
next week's M's Corner, can we go through all the characters that are going to be a part of the mystery?
Absolutely.
Oh,
I'm
look
going to be
forward
wearing a
that on next
Slimer
week's
outfit.
Yeah, because you guys can know each other's characters. You just can't tell. I'm going to release to the person. I'm going to be like, hey, by the way, you're the killer. Don't tell anyone. So,
The killer and the victim. Oh,
No
yeah.
spouses, no
Suicide.
sharing, no
Oh,
partners,
absolutely
no sharing,
not. I'm not telling Andrea nothing.
Wow. He doesn't get dressed up for me and he tells me nothing. You guys know I'm the luckiest one around. Hands off.
Andrea, I'm going to let you take us out here because you've got the full screen. So make sure to thank John and Destiny Constant for joining us and pimp their website and Barnes and Noble's link and bring
What's
us
their
out here.
website one more time, Chris?
ConstantBooks.com. And next week we're going to have Conscious 716, the local Western New York rapper that has some great music, uplifting music, and we've got a big special announcement that we're going to have Conscious 716 on the show for next week. And that's all I've got, Andrea. So you bring us out.
I bring everybody out. Yeah, everybody, we're about ready to call it a night. Thank you all for checking in with us. You can check out John and Destiny on Twitter at Constantin's Book, ConstantinsBook, or ConstantineBooks.com. And they're also on Barnes & Noble. You can look them up under John or Destiny Constantine. Thank you, Emily, for checking in with us. I'm sorry, everyone, that my audio is completely wah-wah tonight, but hopefully you were able to hear everybody else. We will see you next week, and join the Discord if you want to talk to us in between time. Discord, discord.me/Gratwick. That would be us. We'll see you all again soon. Thank you. Mwah. Good night, everybody. And end credits. Ta-da! Credits are